Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going over the handguard that you see right here on this rifle and that you saw throughout the intro. This is the Battle Steel drop-in handguard. It's carbine length. I believe that's the only length it comes in as of right now. And this is just a very inexpensive but yet seemingly well-made drop-in that will allow you to use vertical foregrips, mount lights, lasers, anything like that that you want to on a budget. So basically we're going to let the dogs take a look at it first, of course, then get into the details, compare it to another offering out there, and then at the end we'll let you know what we think of it overall. When it comes to drop-in 1913 style carbine length rails, the one that we're probably most familiar with here in America is going to be this one right here. This is the Knights Armament M4 standard military drop-in rails. These have been used in the M4 for many years, and in a lot of cases these are still used by the US military in many units across the country. So these ones here are different than the Battle Steel in several ways. These ones here are 7075 T6 aluminum, whereas with the Battle Steel we have 6061. So quick pros and cons to that is that the 7075 is a little bit more hard and makes it a little bit more difficult to deform. However, 6061 has better corrosion resistance. So sort of pros and cons to each, just sort of depends what you want. Now, one thing you will notice here on the Knights Armament is that we have a heat shield on the bottom of the rail, whereas of course with the Battle Steel we do not. You guys can kind of see it better there, I guess, if I rotate it up, and that's to of course get rid of some of the heat. But on the Battle Steel, what's nice is it has these nice open slots, and I haven't noticed any heat at all from them, so that is sort of doing the job that the heat guard would do, or the heat shield rather, on the CAC handguard. So just kind of wanted to show you how they stack up. Of course, a couple differences as well. It's going to be the QD points that are on the Battle Steel that are absent here on the Knights Armament. And then also with the Battle Steel, we sort of have the hollowed out 1913 sections here. And of course you have the full pick rail on the Knights Armament. So that's just going to add a little bit of weight to what you get versus the Battle Steel. In order to get into the details for the handguards, I guess it's probably best to remove them and then kind of show you how they come apart, because that is one of the kind of cool things about these. Number one, they don't come apart sort of straight up and down like some drop-in handguards that have like the top that pops in straight from the top, and the bottom that comes in. As you guys can see, they attach sort of an offset angles like you guys just saw there. So it's a two-piece design. And then what's nice is that, like many of the sort of more premium drop-in handguards, it has these little tabs here on the back, and what this is doing is interfacing with the ring, the delta ring that you guys can see there. See the little teeth on there, and that's what's giving it the anti-rotation property that it has. So unlike some of the other drop-in handguards on the market, once these are locked in, they're not going to twist and turn on you, which certainly is nice. The handguard comes with 5 QD slots, so up front and in the back on the 3 and 9 o'clock position, and then one on the bottom here all the way up front. On the 6 o'clock position, they are anti-rotational, so you see you drop a QD sling point in there, and it'll give you about maybe 30 degrees of movement, not a whole lot, so it will not rotate around on you, which is nice, but gives you a little bit of movement, so that way it doesn't bind up on you as well. During the intro, I mentioned that this was a relatively affordable handguard, and it is. So I've been watching the price the last couple of weeks before making this video, and it's been $50 or less pretty much every day. I haven't really seen any crazy movement in the price. I would expect it to stay about the same as this goes forward. So I will put a link down below for those of you guys who are looking to pick one up, but sort of pros and cons to it. I know some of you guys would be, I guess, upset that it's 6061, but it all depends on the application, right? So like I said, the 6061 has a little bit better corrosion resistance versus the 7075. So I have not been light or easy on this rifle, and despite the 6061 being a little bit softer material, in theory I really see only minor nicks and scuffs on it, so it seems to be holding up pretty well. Things I like about it for sure is the fact that it drops in really easy. It has those tabs that lock in with the delta ring, so I mean it just doesn't move. If you hold the upper, it's as solid could be. So what that's good for is guys who want to use lasers. It's going to retain zero relatively well. It also has the sort of hollowed out material in between the 1913 slots, so like on the 45-degree offsets. So that's going to give you good heat dispersion, and it's also going to make it a little bit lighter. And along that vein, like we talked about, the hollowed out 1913 sections on each side make it a little bit lighter, as do the holes underneath there. So this thing comes in on my scale, I believe, at 8.1 or 8.2 ounces. So it's a relatively lightweight handguard for a drop-in system. And of course, it gives you the ability to add lights, lasers, handguards, all that stuff, or hand grips rather, all that stuff that a lot of people like to run. So all in all, for the price, I think it's a pretty solid product. I've had a grand total of 0 issues with it. I think I'm going to keep it on this rifle. I may even paint it to match. We shall see. But if you guys have any questions about the handguard or anything else that we review here on the channel, by all means, you can post down below in the comment section. You can also post over at my Facebook page. As always, that is generally the best place to get in touch with me if you guys have questions that you need answered. So thanks for watching. If you guys are new to the channel and aren't subscribed yet, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like, share, all that fun stuff, and we'll see you guys in the next video.